Oh, what's going on again? Crazy hair again. Just got off work, but today I want to be talking about Magic again because we love that shit. Today we're gonna be talking about another deck today. It's another one of my favorites. And you know what's crazy? It's one of my favorites, but literally I haven't even played it yet. I have yet to play it. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I actually have yet to play the game. Or they, not the. What am I saying? What am I saying? I've yet to play the deck, but the concept is just so fun to me that I just want to get to play it like once. I think I'm going to get to play it at some point. So, and the deck we are going to be talking about today is Felix Five-Boots. I call this deck Boots Be Slimin' for real, for real. And this commander is all about attack triggers. Or dealing combat damage triggers. So, what he does is he's a Menace Ward 2, which means multiple creatures have to block him, and obviously Ward 2 is just good. Unlike any Ward is just good on any commander. Um, if a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So if you deal damage and a permanent on the field triggers, it'll double it again. And this deck is utilizing a lot of ninjutsu mechanics to get a lot of stuff in. And it runs green, black, and blue, so there's a lot of things that give you draw power, a lot of things that give you land, +1/+1s, things that give -1/-1s, or kill, or just like, or deal like 1 life or 2 life, however much life, in this deck, and we're gonna go through it. Just a bit of it. We're gonna show you. I will link the deck list at the bottom if anybody wants to check it out. I will link it there. Sorry. Let me just get up. Let me just make sure I'm sitting up. And to be honest, a lot of the cards, or half of this deck, you can get from the what is it? The Outlaws of Thunder Junction precon, the Sultai one. I think that's what the colors is. Sorry, I haven't played in like months, so I'm forgetting a lot of the stuff. And literally, it has half of the monsters in the deck that I put in this deck, and then everything else is just from whatever else was just good. So, like, from Duskmorn, you got Enduring Curiosity. I love the Enduring monsters. I love them. Except for the red one. I think the red one sucks. Out of all the other ones are great viable options. It's the red one that just seems to be a cut under the rest. Unless there's some tech with the red one that I don't know about. But what I like about it is it's basically 2 separate permanents. Sorry, my ear itches. It's basically 2 separate permanents in one, right? So you got it in the creature form. And what it does is when a creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card, right? But then it has the added effect of when Enduring Curiosity dies, it returns to the battlefield as just an enchantment. So it's not a creature anymore, but it stays as a permanent. So it's basically got 2 lives, right? I love that's the Enduring, like all of those cards, like Enduring Tenacity, Curiosity. I don't know the other ones. I haven't used them yet, so I haven't really like put them in any decks. But this is really good, especially, obviously, since you're doubling the triggers, you're drawing 2 cards every time. A creature of yours deals combat damage, and then you have whenever a creature deals combat damage, your controller may draw a card, which that would trigger again. Got a lot of draw power, obviously, with blue. Fallen Shinobi is actually one of my favorites. When it deals, it has ninjutsu, so you can summon it for its ninjutsu cost while mid-combat if a creature isn't blocked. Throw this in instead. When Fallen Shinobi deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Until the end of turn, you may play those cards without paying for their mana cost. So that triggers twice. So they're getting rid of 4 cards from the top of their deck, and you could just use them for free. Fallen Shinobi is the GOAT. Big menace right here. And I'm running good cards that like can't be like blocked. So like Slither Blade, freaking things with flying, trample. Let's see. Yeah, Changeling Outcast, freaking Shadow Mage Infiltrator because he has fear. Um, and Silent Hall Keeper, Hall Creeper. My bad. Silent Hall Creeper. When a Hall Creeper deals combat damage to a player, choose one that hasn't been chosen, and then that will trigger again. So then you would pick a different ability. Or actually, I don't know if you're allowed to pick a different ability. Pick one that hasn't been chosen. Okay, so then you would pick one, and then it would trigger again. So then you'd pick a different one. So then you could get 2+1/+1 counters, and then draw a card, or it'll become a creature that I control, which then you would then trigger that creature's ability, right? It becomes a copy of a creature you control, which then you would be able to trigger that ability twice, and that's pretty cool. Actually, I love the partner ones here. The Yukami. Sorry, I again haven't played the deck yet. Not familiar with all the names. I do own these cards. I just don't get to play with them often. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and then whenever Yukai leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to a player, and you gain. It deals X damage, where X is its power. So these two go together. So if you bring this out, then you can bring him out, and then you can attack with him. He's just gonna get huge, and he can't be blocked. So he pairs well with the ninjutsu mechanic in of itself. So you just ninjutsu in anything, right? And then it's gonna deal damage to that target player for however strong it got because of Kazir. Like, that shit's fire. I'm not gonna lie. And then obviously we have our green stuff with the Farseed Cultivate. We have Arcane Heist just to like throw that in there. We have Calling Rituals, so to like get rid of a lot of destroy each non-land permanent with mana 2 or less. So this gets rid of like, what is it? Like Soul Rings, Arcane Signets, and then you add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. So this is like a good like mini wipe, board wipe for like a lot of like the value engines that don't cost much. Feed the Swarm, just a good like removal spell. Rampant Growth, Stolen Identity, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature. Then you could use this obviously to make a copy of, I guess, copy. No, because if you can't copy one of the legendaries. So let's say you need another Slither Blade, you'll copy Slither Blade, and then you'll be able to jutsu for something else. But I don't think that'd be worth it. Again, I would have to play the deck again just to remember what I need to do. I guess make copies of things that just trigger maybe another Enduring Curiosity, so that I could just draw more without needing to like fight with it. Stuff of that nature. And then we go to our instances. We got the Assassin's Trophy, Beast Within, Counterspell, Fog, Heroic Intervention, Mana Drain, one of the big ones in the deck, Putrefy, like just removal for all my instances. Nothing too crazy. Then we have our artifacts, and artifacts are like one of our more prevalent things that we have in the deck compared to the creatures, because the artifacts do benefit a lot, like Mask of Riddles, where it just gives a creature fear, and that's really good just to get past attackers so that you could utilize ninjutsu. Power Fist for creatures that are just going to stay on the field and get bigger. Like you could throw Power Fist onto Yukimi, and then just sack Yukimi, and then you just still have the artifact, and then you can just put this artifact on something else. You have the vault key, the key to the vault. You have the 2 swords. Strixhaven Stadium. This is the first time I actually put this card in the deck, but it actually like works really well because when a creature you control deals combat, whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven. And if it has 10 or more, remove all of them, and that player loses the game. So you can. This is a don't let me win. You know, like this is for those life gain, the fucking or Orzhov players. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this card for the first time, I remember when I saw this card, I was like, yo, what do I just say fuck you to any like Orzhov or any life gain player? And sorry, I got a text message I have to check real quick. And yeah, and then we have other things that give things flying, Ward 4. We have Trailblazer Boots. This one's actually pretty good. We got Thought Vessel for all the card draw. Bident, really good. Our Decanter, another no maximum hand size. Lightning Greaves, obviously. Swiftfoot Boots, obviously. Soul Ring, obviously. Yeah, that's really about it. That's it for the artifacts. And then we have the enchantments. We have the Corstral, Piracy, one with Nature. Whenever enchantment creature deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a basic land card. Really good. Really good for the lands. Whenever enchanted creature. So, like, literally, you could then put this on, like, one of the non-blockers. So you just keep attacking with, like, Slitherblade. You don't even do, like, ninjutsu stuff. You just attack with Slitherblade or any of the creatures that can just, like, power over anything, like anything with flying, just throw it on. You'll most likely get value out of it. You'll just get a bunch of lands. Rogue class was really good. I thought, like, normally I haven't really run most of any of like the classes cards, like in my deck, in any of my decks, like, but they have pretty cool mechanics, and I see people using them, so I threw it in. Vraska's Join Up, just really good. Gives puts death touch counters on each creature I control, so that also gives an incentive to either not to block or your creatures die. Whenever a legendary creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card, which is weird on a Golgari card for the ability to be draw, but hey, we'll take it nonetheless. Then we got our lands, pretty standard. Land composition, nothing crazy. And then my sideboard is if I want to put game changers in. So like Fierce Guardianship, Cyclonic Rift, and Rhystic. Really, those are really the only ones that I would benefit from. And yeah, to be honest, that's the deck. I'll put it in the description. If you have anything, any changes, or any deck text you want to talk about, put that in the comments, and I will read them. And thank you for watching.